This PowerPoint video reviews and applies the scientific method in order to answer 4 very important questions in psychological research. The scientific method is something you've probably heard of since high school. It's commonly applied to the hard sciences such as biology, chemistry, and physics, and it's also applied in psychology. Psychologists and scientists have worked very hard to maintain objectivity in experimentation, especially since psychology is such a subjective construct and field. And the one way that they do this is through the scientific method. Oftentimes, the scientific method is applied to the 4 goals of psychological research, which includes the what, why, when, and how questions that we will cover in a few minutes. There are 5 steps to the scientific method which must be conducted in a very specific order. The first step is perceiving the question. This is where you observe your surroundings and develop a question based on what you see. The second step is formulating a hypothesis. Based on your observations and the question that you have developed from those observations, you want to formulate a hypothesis and predict something that could happen. The third step is testing the hypothesis. This is where you can determine the best method of data measurement in order to conduct the testing. This could be something like a survey, an experimental method, or maybe just an observational type of method. The fourth step is drawing conclusions about your test results. This is where you do all the interpretation of the results and you determine if your hypothesis was in fact supported. If it was not supported, you might want to think about your perceptions and other explanations for your observations and then repeat your steps if necessary. The final step is reporting the results. You want to report everything, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's important to even report results that are insignificant so that other scientists can review and choose to streamline your methods to repeat the study or avoid your methods altogether. As noted earlier, scientists use and apply the scientific method to 4 specific goals in psychological research. These questions address the what, why, when, and how. What is happening? Why is it happening? The prediction of when it will happen again, and how it can be changed. When you're answering the question, what is happening, you want to try and describe your pure observation and provide some kind of description. When you answer the why question, you attempt to explain what you think is going on in order to develop your hypothesis or theory. You want to predict when it will happen again because that will strengthen your theory or your hypothesis, and then you can think about how it can be controlled or changed. Let's look at a specific example. Let's look at a hypothetical example of police brutality. First, we want to answer the question, what is happening? And we want to describe exactly what is happening. In this case, we're going to identify police brutality as frequently occurring in low-income neighborhoods. So why do we think this is happening? There might be several reasons, such as racial issues, high crime rates in specific areas, feelings of threat, poor police training, or maybe something even more complex such as the frustration-aggression hypothesis, which we cover in a later section. To keep things simple, let's just say that police brutality is occurring due to feelings of threat, which might be attributed to poor police training. The answer to the question of when it will happen again is the obvious answer that it's going to continue to happen until something changes. And how can we change this? This is where you start to list things that can be tested, such as investing a little bit more money into better police training. And then therefore your hypothesis could be better police training will yield lower police brutality. Take some time to think about these concepts and questions and see if you can apply other examples. That is the end of this PowerPoint video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me or you can post in the general discussion board of this week's module.